Good morning. This is Anna Melia from Northeast Animal Rights. We're delighted to welcome Maria Tiqwah, who is a vegan artist, who was featured in Vegan Life magazine, and we thought it would be really interesting to talk to her today. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Anna. I'm very pleased that you asked me for this interview.
So we're going to go straight into the questions, if that's okay. So
Yes.
first of all, when did you become vegan and how did it happen? Was it overnight or was it a more gradual process?
I became vegan in 2011. I saw a little film about the animal industry, and I was really horrified by it. So immediately I decided to not eat any meat anymore. But at that time, I still thought, well, veganism isn't it a bit far-fetched, and so I wasn't planning on becoming a vegan, but then I did some research. I found some more information about dairy and honey and eggs, and eventually I became vegan. Ooh, my cat just.
So what was the hardest part of becoming vegan for you?
I think for me the hardest part was the way you see the world.
Yeah.
The food was not so difficult. I mean, the first month it's a bit like, oh no, what do I have to buy or cook? But then you're used to it and that's it. But when you become vegan, you see the world through different eyes, and sometimes it can be a bit difficult because there's so much animal suffering.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You kind of like you're seeing the same thing as other people see, but you're seeing it in a very, very different way.
Yes.
You're kind of like wondering, like, why on earth do they not see it in the same way as you?
Yeah, and why didn't I see it before?
Yeah. So tell me about the animals in your life.
Well, right now I have 4 cats. One of them is still from when before I went. No, actually, they're all from when before I went vegan. And 3 of them are from the streets. One of them probably had a car accident, so she's deaf and has some mobility issues. The other one has one eye, and the other one had a mom. So, but they're all very, very lovely. And there have always been animals in my life since I was as young. We always had cats and bunnies and guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you've always had animals, yeah. So I'm just looking at the artwork, the beautiful artwork behind you. Is that all your artwork?
No, I have much more, but it didn't fit all on my wall.
But is it your work though?
Yeah. These are all my drawings. You can see the Wrong with the Vegan vlog for example, and they're the one which was also in the magazine.
Yes, yeah. So when did you realize you could express yourself through art, and where do you get your inspiration from?
I think I've always been expressing myself through art since I was just very little. I always drew, and it were always animals. I was always drawing animals. So yeah, it was like from the age of 4 or 5, I guess. It were always animals, and they're still my big inspiration. I do draw people sometimes, but it's quite rare.
Yeah.
I draw
Prefer animals.
Yes, I do.
Now, your artwork always, I've had a look at, obviously on your website, and your artwork always seems to have a positive message. There's nothing graphic, and there's nothing, it tends to be not negative. So there were no pieces saying don't do this or you shouldn't do that. So was that a conscious decision, or did it just naturally manifest in that way?
I think it's a bit of a combination.
Yeah.
I have been in advertising for 18 years now, and in advertising they always say you have to seduce people. You don't have to point a finger. If you want, it's easier to seduce people and make something attractive and appealing than to point a finger. So I think that's one of the one part why I do this way. And I think another way is just personal. I mean, it also gives me kind of comfort and
Yeah.
happiness to draw these animals in this
Mhm.
positive way.
Mhm.
And I do very much appreciate and respect the people who do show the graphic
Mhm.
side.
Mhm.
But yeah, for me, it would be just too much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think it's a good point you just made about I mean, you're reaching people through beautiful artwork and kind of lovely positive messages. I think some people are kind of you know, some people the graphic stuff works for them, and other people
Yeah.
would prefer the much more, you know, positive message which you're giving out, and that's much
Mm-hmm.
more in line with what our group is about as well, because we aren't a shouty group with megaphones or with you know, kind of graphic stuff. We much prefer the laid back kind of trying to get people on board sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's I mean, I know that different types of activism hit different types of people. You know, some people will sort of see that graphic image and then their mind is sort of changed, the change to veganism. But I think I much prefer I think it's much more mentally rewarding, I think, for us to do it the same sort of way as you're doing with your art. So you were just saying there that your artwork. So do you find your artwork therapeutic, and does it help your mental health?
Yeah, I think it is kind of therapeutic. I think I just love the process of drawing too. I mean, some people meditate, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not for me. I can sit still. I'm very difficult time doing nothing. But drawing, for example, I really enjoy this, and also when looking at my art in my home, yeah, it just makes me
Mhm.
gives me a good feeling, and I hope to share this with
Yeah.
other people as well.
Yeah. So how have you with lockdown? I mean, I don't know what the lockdown's been over there in the Netherlands, but so has that affected how you work?
Not really. Actually, there didn't change so much for me personally because
Yeah.
you know I work
From
from
home.
home.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm not the most social person, uh, so yeah, no, for me it didn't really change.
Mm.
And also, I'm currently living in Istanbul in
Oh, right.
Turkey.
So, all right.
Yeah, so I already work from Istanbul for my customers in the
Right.
Netherlands.
Right.
So or everything already goes through phone and email and Skype.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
there did it not so much changed.
Yeah. So you're actually, because I thought you were in the Netherlands at the moment, so you're actually in Istanbul.
Yes, yes,
Ah, right.
yes.
So how does it make you feel when you see someone wearing a piece of your artwork or displaying a piece of your artwork?
Yeah, it's really great. I really love to see when people wear my art,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's really great. And sometimes you know I can't be somewhere like in the Netherlands when there's a peaceful demonstration, but I do see people with t-shirts with my
Yeah.
drawings on it, or you know
Yeah.
with the drawing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that. And
Yeah.
also, for example, the drawing of the vegan flag,
Yeah.
this one can be downloaded for free.
All right.
So I actually encourage people, okay, just this drawing, just you
Yeah.
can print it, use it
Right.
any way you like, even
Brilliant.
commercial use. For the
Yeah.
other ones, not. You
Yeah.
will need a
Well, I'll bear
license.
that in mind. I'll put it on our Facebook page and on our Instagram page as well. That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. So what's your greatest achievement or your proudest moment so far in your career?
Um, yeah, I think there are two things I'm really proud of. I once won the in Holland the Dutch NRC Charity Award for
Mm.
an ad
Yeah.
I made, a newspaper ad.
Uh-huh.
Um, I can maybe can I show you? No, I don't have it here. Uh, so, but it was like two handcuffs, and it said like if you mistreat one animal and a staple of money,
Uh-huh.
and if you mistreat thousands of animals, you get subsidized
Yeah.
because you know the farmers get subsidized.
Yeah.
So, and another one is that this drawing was
Yeah.
printed on the cover of the Dutch magazine, and also, of course, in
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
Vegan
yeah,
Life
yeah,
magazine.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's even on the on the cover of a book.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
I'm really proud
That's,
of it.
yeah. It's amazing though. I mean, knowing those books, are, are in somebody's home and but getting the magazines, because that's what I did. I saw the magazine and I read it and I saw your paintings and I just thought they were absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So what do you think? So where do you think the movement, the animal rights movement, has made its greatest progress so far? And which area of animal rights frustrates you the most? For example, is it vivisection or animal agriculture or dairy?
Yeah, I think the animal rights movement has been kind of trendy almost. Like,
Yeah.
before vegan food was kind of boring and, you have to eat something. So, but now it has been elevated.
Mhm.
And it becomes more accessible. Like even people who aren't vegan can go to a vegan restaurant and say, oh, well, today we're going to eat vegan.
Yeah.
So I think this helps a lot. And also there are so much more products in the supermarket,
Mhm.
especially in the UK and Holland.
Yeah.
In Turkey, not so much, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think these things help very much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So which area frustrates you the most? Sort of which area do you think we need to sort of like put a bit more work into?
Um, yeah, I think for me it would be, but it's just for me personally, it would be the dairy industry.
Mhm.
It's because I'm Dutch, and in Holland, Dutch people are even called cheeseheads. And on school, at least when I was young, they teach, yeah, you have to drink milk, and
Yeah.
it's good for you, and you have
Mm.
school milk, and blah blah blah. This whole propaganda, and yeah, yeah, it's really really frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's
Uh,
the
yeah, I think with us, we think that dairy is probably one of the ones which are going to fail in our lifetime. I mean, there's obviously so much so many alternatives out there now. So we do think that dairy over in the UK, the government puts massive bailouts. I mean, it's a bit like the advert you said. You sort of mistreat one animal, you get put into jail. You mistreat thousands, and you get subsidies, you get money.
yeah
That's exactly what they do here. When we had lockdown, obviously the farmers were really struggling to get the milk out, and they were given massive taxpayer subsidised bailouts. And we were absolutely outraged because we said it's a perfect opportunity for you to give subsidies to transition to plant-based farming, but they didn't take that
yeah
opportunity. Yeah.
it's frustrating.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the future of the animal rights movement? Obviously you've got experience of Turkey and the Netherlands. So kind of, what do you sort of like, do you feel optimistic about it, or do you feel as if we've still got a lot of work to do?
I think both. I feel very optimistic because if I look at the changes that has been there the last 10 years, it's really amazing. So much more products, so much more people who know what veganism is or kind of know. But on the other hand, there's still so much to do. I mean, we live in a world where eating and using animals is so very normal. Yeah, so I'm both positive, and I both think there's still a lot of work to do.
So what's the difference you're finding between Turkey and the Netherlands then?
In the Netherlands, veganism is much more mainstream than in Turkey. For example, the first mock meat I saw in Turkey in a supermarket was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
And right now you have this, like, I think right now you have 4 or 5 different kinds in only one chain of supermarkets. So and the first vegan cheese was, I think, maybe 1 or 2 years ago. So it's really just starting. But also here it's growing.
Yeah. So that's been absolutely really fascinating talking to you. And we are going to put on the links to your website as well, so the viewers can actually look at your artwork properly. And I know obviously the Vegan Life magazine, which you sort of showed earlier on, people can still sort of access that online, but we will make sure that people can access your website when we air this interview. Because I know you do, obviously you do the actual paintings and the posters and the themed artwork, but you also do cards and things like that as well, don't you? So there's
Yes,
quite a
that's
few ways
right.
you can access your artwork. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's been really appreciated. Thank you very much for giving up your time. So this is Anna Melia from Northeast Animal Rights saying thank you and goodbye to Maria Tiqwah. Okay.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you.